My speech today does come on the eve of a very important international summit, the G7 summit in Cornwall, hosted by the United Kingdom. And I was delighted when my good friend, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, invited me to attend as part of what is being referred to as the G7+, one of only 4 outreach partners, together with India, who sadly Narendra Modi won't be able to attend because of the COVID outbreak in India, but also the Republic of Korea and South Africa. And this is the 3rd occasion on which I've been invited as Prime Minister, the 3rd year running, for Australia to participate in this G7+ dialogue as a partner in that dialogue. And there has never been a more important time, I believe, for Australia to be at that table with the world's largest advanced economies and liberal democracies than right now. We very much need to be there because there is a lot at stake for Australia, for our region, and indeed for the world. We are living in a time of great uncertainty, not seen, I believe, since the 1930s outside of wartime. The challenges we face are many. The global pandemic, of course, the recession it has caused, and the business-led global recovery the world now needs to restore lives and livelihoods. A global trading system and a rules-based order that is under serious strain and threat. A new global energy economy is rising with profound implications for Australia as the world deals and addresses climate change. And how we succeed and prosper in this new net zero emissions economy without putting at risk our resources, manufacturing, heavy industries, the jobs of Australians, especially in regional Australia, without imposing higher costs on Australian families and how we keep the lights on and not surrender the economic advantages that Australians have had. That's where Australia's national interest lies. It's not an argument about climate change, it's about how Australia is best able to advance our interests as part of a world that is dealing with climate change, and as we indeed are dealing with climate change. It's not about if, or when, it's about protecting and advancing Australia's interests in a new net zero global energy economy. In that context, it's about the how. However, above all, the defining issue, I believe, for global and regional security is about the stability that we're currently seeking to maximise. That regional stability and security upon which our security, our prosperity, our way of life depends. And that is occurring at a time of escalating great power strategic competition. Rapid military modernisation, tension over territorial claims, heightened economic coercion, undermining of international law, including the law of the sea, through to enhanced disinformation, foreign interference, cyber threats, enabled by new and emerging technologies. There's a lot to talk about in Cornwall. And as we meet together in Cornwall, our patterns of cooperation within a liberal rules-based order that have benefited us for so long, we know they're under renewed strain. As the American scholar Robert Kagan warned, and I've referred to this in other remarks, the jungle is growing back. And as leaders of some of the world's largest liberal democracies and advanced economies, we must tend to the gardening with renewed clarity, unity and purpose. Our challenge is nothing less than to reinforce, renovate and buttress a world order that favours freedom. Now, meeting this challenge will require an active cooperation amongst like-minded countries and liberal democracies not seen for 30 years. The COVID-19 crisis merely underlines the urgent need to deepen and accelerate our shared endeavours. Now, for inspiration, we should look to the years immediately following the Second World War. A world in flux, competing models for economies and societies. A time when President Truman called for the creation of conditions in which we, him referring to the United States, and other nations will be able to work out a way of life free of coercion. In many parts of the world, old and new, anxious peoples craving peace, stability, prosperity, and a sense of sovereign control over their national destinies. Then a remarkable generation of far-sighted policymakers under American leadership set out to bring order to this uncertain world. And importantly, order informed by liberal values, grounded in rules-based institutions. I believe the challenges we face today demand the same commitment, the same common purpose for this new era. And Australia brings its own distinct perspective to our global challenges, informed by where we are and who we are, our principles, our values, and of course our national character. Our interests are inextricably linked to an open, inclusive and resilient Indo-Pacific region. That is our interest. And to a strategic balance in the region that favours freedom and allows us to be who we are, a vibrant liberal democracy, an outward-looking open economy, a free people determined to shape our own destiny in accordance with our own national sovereignty.